Okay, hi Miss Chloe's class, 6-7. This is number one out of my multiple, shut up, number one out of my multiple vlogs on my adventure reading things. So you meet your main character, his name's Okonkwo. Clearly he's the protagonist because he's the first word that starts in the book, okay? And I'm starting to read this and I think it's about a journey of self-discovery because he seems like a jackass when you first start out, but then I think he might have a softer side to him. So anyway, it begins and they're talking about how he's strong and la 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 la, and then they mention something about how, shut up, they mention something about how Okonkwo, to get in his top level, get out of my thing, to get to his top level of society, he had to fight. He had to fight the cat. Well, that's a market tradition, obviously. Okay, that, like, it's not hard. And then there was talking about how he had yams, and he made lots and lots and lots of yams. Well, that's another tradition thing. If their tradition is, to make yams, then that's their tradition. Okay, and then next, you're introduced, I think it's a flashback about Okonkwo's father, Unoka, but it pretty much talks about Okonkwo's insecurities and it's narrated like it says he's ashamed of his father, and you get to know his personality, Okonkwo's personality, and you learn that he's not lazy, he's hardworking, but maybe as the reader, like, I thought that maybe his whole life he's worked so hard that's why he's so tough and that's why he's so strong, because he doesn't have a heart. Like, he's heartless. Okay, well, now we're back to tradition. One of the things that you find in the first chapter is they're always, whenever the men meet up to conversate about important things, I guess, they always get on the floor, get some cola nuts, get some pepper, and just go at it. You know, they do their little prayer to the gods, which is a tradition. Just like in America, it's a tradition to pray to God, majorly, if that's a word. But yeah, they always pray for things, and like their faith, that's part of tradition. So a lot of the people in the Igbo village, they're really deep into their religion, and that kind of sets the basis for the whole entire story. Once you get a little farther in the book, you'll understand. Day of Peace, that's a big deal with the Igbo community in the book, because it was the Week of Peace. During the Week of Peace, Okonkwo beats one of his wives, and first of all, the Igbos believe that it's against the gods, and second of all, he broke a tradition, and breaking the tradition could get you expelled from the community, or you just, people wouldn't accept you, and that's why a lot of people were really upset at Okonkwo. Even though if it wasn't the Week of Peace, it'd be a fine thing to beat his wife anyway. And to compare the two communities, the Igbo community and then a community in this present day, let's just say Princeton, beating your wife during the Week of Peace in the Igbo community is just as equal to smoking a joint in the hallway during school hours, or at all, because it's illegal. You can't do it, and it's frowned upon, and if caught doing it in the school, you'll get expelled, you'll get disowned. The same as how Okonkwo's situation was. He wasn't disowned, he more so got a warning, but that's how firm they are in their beliefs and their traditions, and that's how much they want to protect their beliefs. They don't they try to keep the outside world away so they aren't of things like that. Just like at Princeton, we don't encourage bad behaviors, or even in your family, a lot of people, it's not like you could just like come home and just drink all the time and just like lay on your couch drunk and stuff. There's a certain point in which your family's just gonna not take care of you and disown you and even maybe expel you from your house, which is the same situation as a community, because the community is people with the same beliefs, people with the same culture, people who get out of my thing, please. People who have a reputation and they want to uphold that, and if there's someone who's going to mess that up and mess up the pride of a family or a community, and it's not conducive to the community, they're going to get kicked out. And that's one of the big tradition. That's one of the big points of tradition that are the same now in 2011 and in the 1950s or whatever, and the Igbo tribes in Africa who have never seen Teen Mom, have never watched TV, have never listened to any music except for Igbo folk culture music. And so it's just my bigger points for today. But yeah, it definitely was a big deal, and it's still a big deal now, and that's one of the huge connections you could make with this book.